Welcome back, guys. This is Dana from Masterland Investing. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the videos. If you are, please hit the subscribe button as well as hit the like button if you enjoy it. Hope you guys are having a good week. Hope everything's going good for you. Remember, it's all between the ears. It's up to you guys. Whatever you want to do, just decide to do it. Work towards it. Be willing to put the time in, and it's pretty much unlimited, your potential. So once again, thank you guys for being here. What I want to talk about today as far as the land investing business is discovering your niche in the market. When it comes to land investing, there's a bunch of options. You could choose out of the gate to maybe just you want to be a speculative investor for long term. That's a great option. Some people do that. I've always said that people that have the most wealth think long term, sometimes 20, 30 years out. Obviously, that goes back to your age, typically. I mean, the younger you are, the more you can invest that way. It's a great option. It's a great way to make long-term wealth and just reap the harvest tenfold. Another option would be to buy wholesale and try to sell just under retail, which I've done most of the time. That's my approach. I've done the other ways, other options, but that's always worked well for me, and it depends on timing the market. But basically, you're buying at a discount price, somewhere between 25-35% of the retail value, and then going ahead and putting it back on different advertising platforms and selling it just below the retail price. Another great option. A third one would be going ahead and wholesaling property, meaning you're buying it at a wholesale real discount price, that 25-35% of retail, and then you've created a buyer's list, and you deal with builders, or you have a bunch of people on your list that like to buy wholesale properties. They may want to build on them. They may just be also investors, and you're selling them at quite a bit of a discount below retail. That's a great option if you want to move property in a pretty rapid pace. It all depends on how big your list is, and if you really narrow it down to specific buyers in different areas. And that goes back as well to as you move around with different farm areas across the country or a specific state. You got to put a little time in and build up that buyer's list. Like I say, build relationships up. Use Facebook to your advantage. Use LinkedIn. Use your mouthpiece, which is the best. Go out there and shake hands. Go to groups. A great way to do it is to go to investor groups and pass cards out. Introduce yourself to everybody. Let them know what you do, what you're all about. And you have the potential to buy really good properties at a discount price, and in return give it to them at a wholesale price or well below retail. That's a great way to do it. Another niche is buying and selling owner finance. In a couple of videos I talk about doing that. A lot of times I recommend wait till you have a little cash. I just recently created a video with another option as far as doing that if you start out small. Buying properties $500 to $1,000, for instance, if you haven't got much money. Try to get that initial investment, most of that back on the downstroke, on the financing in as far as a deposit. Then creating what I call mailbox money over time. It's a great way to build wealth, and that's one of those things you want to keep the ball rolling. Once you start doing it, you know you're going to have a 4-year, 3-year, 5-year window on these mailbox payments. So you want to keep doing your homework, keep moving in different areas so that after the 5 years, your income doesn't just dissipate. You've continued to move along. And obviously, like I preach, is really understand the 4 phases of a real estate cycle. Make sure you're buying right in the right areas, and do that accordingly. And you'll have a great future that way. And it'll be a great way to produce passive income and have that serious mailbox money to take care of some of your things that you may want, to alleviate some of the pressure with your monthly bills. I've often done it and created mailbox money, and then in turn take a portion, 25, 30, 40% of that mailbox money, and reinvest it in some speculative property. Reinvest it, use some of that cash to buy property to resell on a just below retail market. So that's a few different options, but my advice is to learn each aspect. Pick a particular aspect of the land investing business you want to attack first. Get as much information as you can. Really try to learn that niche of the market, and then become really good at that. Like I referred to another lesson as far as the 90-10 rule with realtors. The key to that thing for realtors is they work certain farm areas and they become that name in that area. They brand themselves well, they're social, they either do door hangers, they knock on doors, they're not afraid to give cookies, a gift, let these people know who you are. You may not be interested in selling today, but in the future give us a call or give me a call and I'll do my best to make the deal happen for us, and I want to let you guys know I'm a problem solver. I can't close every deal, but I'll do my best to get you guys what you want, try to get you a good price for your property, alleviate that annual tax burden, maybe get you a trip included in the deal, maybe structure it so it's a good tax write-off for you. A lot of times that's a great option for people that want to get rid of property. You can write it off as a loss and defer your tax debt. So those are great options, but master as much as you can of each particular phase that you decide to go into. I've often used all the aspects of land investing, and depends on the climate, meaning the phase of the real estate cycle we're in a particular area. I adjust my investing techniques. You may, for instance, when I talk about the 4 phases, you might be in an area, for instance, you're in Colorado, you're buying and selling parcels of land, and the market's not real strong. And then you see a particular area that the market is really strong, and that's an area you might want to go and do some owner financing, and you can get a premium price for that property. And then you might find other areas that the market, it's kind of cloudy over there, like I refer to it as, and the market's it's kind of at the bottom and it's in kind of a recovery phase. When that happens, I typically, what I try to do is I try to buy and hold for a bit. I go in there, try to do a good job on my farm area, understand the areas I'm working, build up a team for that particular area with a realtor, somebody who can feed me a bunch of information, help me with my due diligence so I understand that farm area. And then I'll target specific areas in that state of that area, and I'll buy with the intent to hold a little bit, because I know I'm getting them at the bottom dollar price typically when you're at the recovery phase. And if you know from experience and you've learned the 4 phases, that it's only a matter of time it's going to come out of that cycle, and eventually it'll be into the more of the beginning of hyperinflation, right on through to the recession again, or where the market flattens out. That's a great time to take those properties you invested in and put them back on the market and get more of a premium for those properties. You can do really well like that. You can multiply the investment many times that way. So think about them options, but my advice is to learn the real estate investing business and then decide what your business model is, what avenue you're going to take to attack this business. Become really proficient and efficient at that particular niche of the market, and then work that market. Brand yourself. Like I've said earlier, when you're doing solicitations, you're doing mailers, you're doing blind mailers, you're doing postcards, whatever it may be. A lot of investors, one mistake they've made, and I've done it in the past before too, is I'll target a farm area, I'll solicit it, and then I won't solicit it again. And that's very important to remember, because, like I say, the market changes. If you've got your hands around the 4 phases in a particular area, you know where you're at in that 4 phases of the real estate cycle, it's imperative that you retarget every few months. And even if the market isn't strong, because people's lives change. You might send them a mailer, a postcard, or a letter, and it gets lost in just because people have a life and they set it down, they can't find it. How many times have you in life, and I know I have, damn, when I put that thing, I want to give the people a call, my mind changed, I want to do this, I want to get a hold of that guy, that woman, that agent. I got an offer in the mail about something, where the hell did I put it? We're not all super organized, and that's fine. But remember that, try to think like that potential buyer, that potential seller. You got to revisit those people. Let them know, establish who you are, that you're their guy, you're their woman, you can make this happen, you're going to give them top dollar. You're going to take all the pressure and all the worry away from them, you're going to handle the whole deal. All they got to do is sign. Whatever you offer them, that's what they're going to get. That amount wired to their money, to their account, you're going to get a cashier's check, whatever they prefer. You're going to make it easy for them, so remember that. Perfect your niche, work it, become a professional, and it doesn't mean stay on the sidelines forever, like I always say. Get involved, and the more you're involved, the more you'll tweak it out. Take notes. When you solicit an area, take notes. because sometimes they don't want to sell today, they want to sell tomorrow. You might be offering 5 and they say I want 8. Well, that's a good note to have, because if the market's going north and the prices are increasing, because you know this, you're an investor and you're a smart investor, it may not be very long you can reach out to that person again. Now you have the number because you spoke one-on-one, like I refer that you guys do. Call back, hey, Mr. Smith, listen, this is Dana over here at We Buy Land or whatever it may be, and say, listen, I know that you were looking for a little more than I was willing to offer, and I've been thinking about it, I want to get back to you. I'll give you your price if you like. If you're still interested, I'm willing to pay that price. Like I told you before, we'll handle all of it. We'll get you out the paperwork, get that signed, get it notarized. We'll get your money in your account as soon as we can. And then you reiterate the whole process so they feel comfortable. They remember who you are. That's my lesson for the day, guys. I hope you take notes on that because it's very important. I constantly am creating videos as I remember things that I've done in the past, some of my mistakes, a lot of things that worked for me, and that's where I'm creating this stuff from. It's from experience. This is not coming off the top of my head stuff I'm making up. It's from lessons I've learned, mistakes I've made, and those mistakes are probably more valuable than some of the other stuff I've taught you that I've made money. The mistakes will save you from going down that rabbit hole. And at the same time, you can take that energy and focus it going forward because you already have a blueprint of what not to do. So thank you guys for tuning in. Go out there, inspire somebody if you can. Stay positive. Like I always say, please subscribe if you haven't. Continue to ask questions. Continue to make comments. I love it when you guys do it. It truly inspires me. Have a great week. Be safe. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon.